December 2019 and January and February 2020. What happened? I felt like I had an earthquake inside. Total chaos. But then I discovered that I was not the only one. In this video, I will address 2020, the energies that's going on and the shift we are experiencing right now. Hey guys, a warm welcome to Wisdom from North, the place for accelerated inner growth and empowerment. My name is Jannike, and if you're new to my channel, here I produce interviews with transformational and spiritual teachers and my own video blogs. So these last few months, I have been hiding a bit behind doing a lot of interviews on YouTube and also working with my membership. And I also had a free event, the Soul's Calling online retreat. Over 1,500 people were participating, and maybe you're one of them watching right now. It was an amazing event, and I felt that many had a breakthrough when it comes to coming closer to what their soul is trying to tell them. Because that's one of my passions, to talk about how our soul is calling for us all the time and how it's important to listen and daring to do so. And that's why I create communities, because I always think it's so important to be together on this. We're not alone. But when I'm saying I'm hiding a bit behind doing interviews on YouTube, was that I was going through a very tough time, especially in January and February. So I didn't want to speak about this to everybody who had signed up to this free event, because I really wanted to be of the best service I could be and show up and, share my material and be there for them, because I wanted them to have a breakthrough. But in reality, what was going on was that I would show up to these live webinars that I had prepared and having hundreds of people watching them, and then close off, the webinar afterwards and just falling apart. It felt like I had this chaos inside of me, like I was spread all over in 1,000 pieces, and I had no idea how to pull myself together. It was like this earthquake inside. I had a lot of temper, a lot of anger, a lot of frustration. And what I also was feeling was this sensation of my past coming back to me. So I've been talking about that when I was 20, I was very depressed. And it wasn't like the depression came back, but it was the same sensation of that state of being that started to come back. The same thoughts, the same belief systems. I didn't fully take them in, but I saw them. So they were kind of there, luring around like, here we are, and all of a sudden you can perhaps become depressed again, or maybe you haven't grown at all. And I started doubting that I had expanded, that I had grown, that I had matured, that things had changed in my life. I started doubting spiritual beliefs, myself, spiritual truths, my work with Wisdom from North, everything. It was like Shiva, the destroyer, came and just destroyed everything I believed in. It was massive. It was really, really challenging. And I was carrying this inside until I reached out for help. And I felt that this is not psychological. I had an intuition that this is something spiritual. And I'm very glad I had that, because I could almost feel like I was going nuts. Then I reached out to one of the teachers that I collaborated with, and she helped me understand what was going on with me. And I'll come back to that later. Now, after the Soul's Calling online retreat, I started slowly and surely to speak about it. And what happened really astounded me. So I was doing this live video with my members, and it was like everybody was like commenting, oh my goodness, I have been experiencing exactly the same thing. My, oh my, it has felt like I had doubted everything within spirituality. It's like all my old baggage is coming. I feel so stuck. I feel so dark. I feel so lonely. I have lost faith. I don't believe in myself. This is so intense. Thank you for bringing this up. What is going on? I felt exactly the same. So what I started doing then was to reach out to teachers I collaborate with, the ones I interviewed. I started asking them, have you, experienced the same things? And they said yes. Oh my goodness. It's almost like I haven't grown at all. It's almost like I'm 20 years back. I've been tested, and it feels like, my old baggage is just right in front of me. Like I haven't been doing any work at all. Almost like I'm descending. So I asked my astrologer friend if she knew anything about it, and she was like, oh yes, let me tell you what's going on in the stars. And now I started having more clarity. So in the stars, not only there was an eclipse, like a full moon that was more intense than usual, but there was also this event going on in the stars, this meeting between Pluto and Saturn. And this astrological event is something apparently that the astrologers have been waiting for a long time to happen. And this event influenced the whole of 2019 and is still influencing us. And it's a major event going on. It has a big impact, and it's not to take too light, astrologers are saying. And maybe you're curious that I didn't know what was going on. Like maybe you're really updated on all the energies and everything. I haven't been so drawn to videos with updates all the time because I wanted to look within and feel what's going on with me and be more interested in my inner landscape other than what's going on out there. But of course, I see that we're all connected. So what's going on in the micro is going on in the macro. So that's why I lately open up to much more. What are the collective energies? What is going on in the stars? So from what I understand after doing some research is the following. This is a year of initiation. That was also what the teacher that I reached out to for help was telling me. Jannike, you're going through a huge initiation, and a lot of light workers and sensitive people and humanity in general is now going through an initiation. An initiation is often not so easy and simple and pleasant, because going from one thing to another is always challenging. This bridge is always challenging because then we have to let go of the old energies in order to open up to the new energies. Otherwise, there's no room for the new energies to come. So it's almost like the universe is saying, hey, I'm going to show you your shadows. I'm going to show you what you're still struggling with. It doesn't mean that you're on square one. It doesn't mean that you've done beautiful inner work. It means that there are still some remnants of those things that you've been struggling with. And I'm going to blow it up really wide so you can really see it. Does that make sense? So it doesn't mean that all the things you worked with has been in vain. All the patterns, the negative thoughts, things you thought you were done with, that you're not done with them. No, it just shows you that there's still maybe 10% of it, but your soul is blowing it up so you really can see it. So this time asks us to look within, to look at our shadows, to really make a stand. It asks us to really step up, to really take a stand within ourselves, to start to move into our own leadership, to speak with our own voice. Enough is enough of little you and little me, and stepping down and looking up to the authorities, but instead having your own authority, having your own leadership, being the leader of your own life. Finding that guru within and start to listen to that instead of the external voices and authorities and experts. So it is kind of a test in a sense. You can say that Saturn and Pluto, many astrologers calls it this kind of a test, but the rewards are huge. Now, I came to this intuitively before I started researching, because the chaos was so intense inside of me that I understood deep inside somehow that I needed to take a bolder decision and stand, like deep inside. And what I did was that I had this insight that enough, Jannica, is enough. Enough of these little me thoughts. Enough of these thoughts that are holding me back. Enough of not being on my own team. Enough of not being my own best friend. I want to be happy. I want to have a good life. And it was really, really powerful. I cannot explain it, but it was a part of me that just made the solid decision that I'm doing this. Like, I'm doing Wisdom from North. I'm doing this work. I'm speaking my truth. No matter what people think, no matter what, this is my truth. Enough is enough of the fear. And the beautiful thing was that I discovered that many other people had been taking the same choices, making a deeper stand, and actually having the same insights. So dear soul, know that you are not alone in going through turmoil and chaos and difficult things. Like Shiva, you know, I never understood that God, but now I do understand Shiva, the destroyer. Because in order for something new to bloom, the old has to fall. And we see what's going on, like externally in the world as well, with the virus and everything. So things are coming up. But know that they're coming up for a reason. You're not doing anything wrong. And I invite you to see if you can surrender into it instead of fighting it. What's going on? I shouldn't feel like this. I shouldn't feel like this. Surrender. Accept. Because when we do, we show that we have trust. And that's the other insight that I got. Jannica, trust the universe. The universe is for you. Your soul is for you. I'm not in control of this. And when I started to let go and just accept whatever was going on, that's when bliss started to come. That's when joy started to come back. That's when I started to actually change habits in my life. I started to make changes in my everyday life, and I started having this calmness that whenever things weren't moving the way I wanted them to, I still just had this trust, like, okay, she will answer that email, all right, you know, that will solve itself, or if it doesn't solve itself, it wasn't meant to be, then another door will open. I started having much more ease with everything. So I had a huge shift from going from this turmoil to coming to this trust. So I hope this was helpful. I hope this was inspirational to know that nothing is wrong with you. It's actually your soul working through you. You're in a process, and whenever we are growing, symptoms of growth is disorientation, chaos, all these symptoms. It's symptoms of growth. Good things are happening. Now, I have a meditation that might help you, because I know in this time it's so important to set intentions for actually what we want to create. Intention setting is such a powerful, powerful tool, what I call a portal actually, a portal into another dimension, because all of a sudden when you set intentions, it's like your whole energy is going, you know, towards that, and you're really co-creating with the universe. Like one of my teachers that I collaborate with, she's saying living vertically instead of horizontally. So because then you're connected to both heaven and earth, setting intentions. So I invite you in this time to start to set intentions for yourself and also planet Earth. What you want the planet to feel like. Imagine that the planet is in balance, and imagine also that you are in balance and what you want to create in your future. Because that makes you take charge. That is leadership. That is conscious creation. And in my meditation, Meet Your Future Self, you're able to actually meet the highest version of you. It's a powerful, powerful meditation that thousands of people have actually done. It's not on YouTube, but you can get access to it. I'll leave the link below, and here you are actually consciously creating, co-creating with the future highest version of you, your highest potential, and pulling that into your own reality right now. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. And if you are not a subscriber, I would love for you to subscribe and also share my videos. And stay tuned for what's to come. And may you shine the light that you are. I had another thing I wanted to say. I wasn't done with the video. This is where I live, actually. Oh, it's so beautiful. I moved out here like 1.5 years ago. So I have a garden now. And I need a garden. Well, what I wanted to say was that whenever you feel like a dip in your energy, if you made such a choice that I made that has really helped me, like make this deeper choice, then remind yourself of the commitment that you made to yourself. Like my commitment was that I am going to be happy. Like I choose happiness. I choose to be kind to myself. Because whenever then you are doing something that is like in conflict with that, doing something to yourself that you know is not nice, you can remind yourself that, hey, I made the commitment of really being on my own team, being my own best friend. Like, I choose to live. I have the willpower to live. And I'm going to use my will to actually open up for happiness and for being kind to myself. I choose to be kind to myself, and I choose to trust. I choose to trust the universe. That makes a huge difference. Making a commitment, a deep commitment. And of course, it's not something I can make you do. It's something you have to kind of come to yourself. But if you do, if you manage to make this deep commitment to yourself, to trust the universe, that the universe is for you, and to commit to creating your own happiness, commit to taking responsibility for your life, commit to being on your own team. Like when you wake up, I'm going to have a good day, setting the intentions for a good day. If you dip down a bit, if you feel you fall out of it, you can remind yourself of that commitment that you did. And then out of that, you start to create a new pattern, and that becomes your new habit, your new standard. All right, thanks for watching again. Have a beautiful day. Bye.